Are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now.
Peace. What up, though? I gotta stop looking. What up, though? I am KONG, Kong Gorilla, Kong Comedy. This is the GoReal or Go Home show. 60 minutes of what was, what is, and what will be. Myself, Mark DeAndre.
What's the word?
We in the studio, 7 Mile Radio. I got some banana pudding right here I can't eat. I got a drink I've been drinking. And we have a new, brand new, fresh out the box, just pulled the plastic off her face.
He done ripped it out the plastic.
You feel me? It's like when you get a watch and that little plastic come off, and the plastic there, and you pull the plastic off the watch. It's like a brand new watch. That's what we got. She a new watch, right? Our new co-host is here. She's ready to keep us in line, keep us on time. I was here early today, y'all.
For the first time in 7 Mile Radio history.
In my 7 Mile Radio history. I was here early waiting. You feel me? So, everybody, please welcome. We ready with the applause thing?
One more time.
We're going to, because he already did it. All right, we're going to welcome Feel Good. We only going to give her that name. Her name is Feel Good. Give the people, tell the people what's up. How you doing on that?
Hey, hi, hello. Hey, what's up? Hello.
You don't never applause or something? Is that what you want?
No, I was just waiting on her. I guess that was it. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, what's up? Hello. Okay.
I should have an introduction.
No, I mean, no, I thought you might be ready to say something to him. You know what I'm saying? But she got a laundry list of hot topics we're going to get into one at a time. These are real things that people are going through in relationships, and this is what she said she want to come out the box with. But we are opening up. First and foremost, we are the home of Juneteenth, and this is we did a wrap-up show, right? That went great. Just so y'all know, Juneteenth was amazing for everyone in the city of Detroit. We had no issues. No events got shut down. No children got lost. No complaints went public. Nobody dragged a host on Facebook. Nobody dragged me. That's great. So that was a great season. We got 3 more weeks, and then we right back like we left something, right? We all got to keep it rolling and keep it moving. I've seen a lot of Juneteenth hosts take trips now, right? They on vacations, you know, they unwind and they getting back. But you know me, I'm right back at it, man. I'm going to sneak off some point. I got to sneak off when my BMs don't know about it. I got to take a vacation when they all go to sleep and then be back
when they wake up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I go and come right back.
6-hour vacation?
Yeah, but that's what people do when they got it like that. You feel me? Jet hop to Dubai, 6 hours. Go to that dinner.
Okay.
Come on back. You feel me? They do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I got to do my trips, you know, in and out. So today I stepped on an emotional landmine.
Yes.
Right? And I have this podcast, and we use it as a platform for many things. So far, it's been for entrepreneurs and business owners, and we've had some real discussions on here, me, myself, Mark D, and Lady K. So the discussion we're having right now, we're going to get right into it so we can get into Feel Good list. Should we call that? Like when your list, you'd be like, it's the Feel Good list.
Feel good list? But sometimes it won't make you feel good.
I mean, but the truth hurts. What the truth is needed. That's what we're about to get into right now with this right here.
We got to put a spin on. I'll think of some catchy thing.
That was good, though. That was nice. Put a pin in that one, though.
Yeah.
The Feel Good list.
Feel good.
Yeah.
List.
Okay, so, yeah.
I'm oily.
Get yourself together, Carl.
You feel? I'm like, what's happening right now? Okay, so today, y'all know I'm a new father, and new meaning new to me. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my children, the oldest one, is new to me. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest of them is just new to the earth, right? So I've been watching a long time. I've been watching parenting a long time. I've been watching children grow into adults a long time, right? 38 years I've been paying attention to this. You feel me? And what I've decided is I do not love unconditionally. I don't love anyone unconditionally. And today I made public, I've actually said this before, but I didn't have children then, right? So I guess for the people who follow me, they're like, you still feel this way? Like, I do not love my children unconditionally, right? And people are like, well, they still your child, you're a parent. But this is the part they didn't hold on to. I said love in the way of, love by, support and inclusion is a faucet that can be turned off. That's what my post said. That's what I got to make sure they understand. Love in the form of support and inclusion
unconditionally
is a form of love that can be turned off. You feel me? Emotional love. Do I love my child? Do I wish Lil Ray Way would get his fucking act together. That's unconditional. That's the part that's unconditional. Yes, I wish the prodigal son would return home. You feel me? But love in the form of, I've been on every street corner asking all the dope boys if they served them today. I paid off the one that he owed. Right. I ain't got no TVs in my house. I love him. No, never. Not at all. I will not support the bullshit. I have been a part of bullshit that my mother did not support, and I've also gotten into trouble that my mother did support me on. You feel me? When I got in trouble up at school, she considered that to be a self-defense situation. I had to do what I had to do in the heat of the moment. She was there for every court case. You feel me? Climb through a window and see if my mama show up for that fuck shit. You feel me? It's not unconditional. I am in prison 5 years. You know who gets the most visits in prison? And you can ask a convict. Rapists. They get the most visits.
Wow.
You feel me? Aunties, mamas, sister, girlfriend, new woman. Unconditional love. What do we do to show people who do the most horrendous things that is not okay? That we all can agree on at least one thing that we don't think is okay. Right? So once you open that door and say, no, I got a mama who say, it's still my child. That's still my child. Well, y'all can both get the fuck on. Like, you and your little rapey ass baby can take your ass out into the woods and live out there.
Baby.
Real shit. Now, a sister said, well, those people who rape and do all the things you're saying you're not going to support your kid through were likely neglected as a child, abused as a child. In this world we live in now, it's too many of us. And there's too many people doing the wrong things. They weren't all neglected as children. We have college football players, basketball players, baseball players that get in trouble every year for rape because power was given to them. And favor was given to them.
Know.
So it had nothing to do with neglect at back home. A lot of them came from people who supported them, came to every game. You feel me? Bought all their uniforms and cheered for them. It wasn't about neglect. It was because he got somewhere and somebody said, you the man, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
And we're going to cover up everything because you the man. You know what I'm saying? So when a parent shows up to court for that, just like when y'all see a politician who cheated on his wife, but then the wife stand next to him at the podium.
Yeah.
He been gone 4 days off the map. Don't none of the city know where he been. And she's standing right next to him. Women have all types of shit to say about that woman. But that's her unconditional stance. You feel me? I am saying that if I give my best to my children, I done let go of this, let go of that, provided a home, I done gave my best of me to you. I will not prepare to accept the worst from you when I didn't give you the worst to me.
When I read that status, I didn't think that you meant what you just said just now. It was kind of worded differently.
It wasn't worded like support and inclusion can be turned off? Absolutely.
In the end, it was. You could reread it. Because
it said, I do not love my children unconditionally. Love in the form of support and inclusion is a faucet that can be turned off.
See, I don't understand that. I'm like, huh? If I'm reading that, you saying it is different than me reading it.
Right, because perception and understanding.
I think you should have said maybe I don't love unconditionally in the form of support and inclusion.
That's the exact same thing I just said.
But you made I don't love unconditionally one sentence and then had a separate sentence.
Yes, giving my example of what part of my love is conditional.
I didn't understand it that way.
Okay.
And I think many people didn't understand it that way.
Well, the fact that people didn't understand it but still reacted to it and judged.
I don't understand how they wouldn't understand it. I mean, because it's right there stated with the stat. I mean,
but
you can read and tell people didn't understand it because they was like,
niggas don't use punctuation correctly.
They'll take out of it
was
what
a
they
run-on
see
sentence.
And just run.
It wasn't. It just didn't make sense. The sentence didn't make sense.
This is fine.
Okay.
What's happening now? Now what's happening now is I typed it wrong and they were confused. But people didn't say, could you clear that up? What do you mean by that?
Right.
Everyone took it.
All they took in their own. I don't love my child.
I don't love my children. That's all it took. Never mind the second sentence. That's all it took.
That's how I took it. But then when I read your comments about clearly you weren't reading it in the way that I was like, well, maybe I'm not going to respond because I don't understand what you're trying to say.
But you do. You just need to be the word.
That's communication.
Because you just said back to me what I said.
In order for someone to communicate clearly, you have to, comprehend clearly. You have to communicate. That's even with relationships. People feel like they're communicating, but if you're not communicating on the level that they can understand.
They can understand.
Right. So now all these people who read on Facebook need punctuation.
I mean, also, Facebook is a place where people feel like they could just say and react to whatever the fuck they want to say.
Because there's no punctuation.
No matter what, because if they was in your face, they wouldn't say none of the stuff.
You actually say the punctuation though. You verbally, you don't say, I don't love my children unconditionally. Period. You don't say it, right? but this, you can hear when the sentence stops and starts, and even when you're asking a question, you don't have to say question mark.
Yeah.
They know it's a question.
Right. Based
All
off
these
the
people, I'll
inflection.
accept that some of these people was confused because I had to tell them based on their responses, like, you didn't read it. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'll give you that because it's if you typed it right there, it's there. It's not like you didn't type it.
Because
They
I
responded as
didn't,
if you
I
didn't
needed them to
type
keep
it.
going because my whole point was the other day I tried to bring up rape and no one would talk about it. So today I realized that was a roundabout way to get right back to my topic. You feel
Okay.
me?
I
And-
have a segue. I'm sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I have a segue about that. I watched this TED Talk once where it was a woman who was raped and her rapist.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed the perspective of each. And it really gave me a different way of thinking as far as how that occurs.
Mm-hmm.
Like date rape.
That's always a gray area for
Yeah,
people. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And women can be made to feel responsible for that. But if I put something in your drink in order to weaken you
Okay.
or lessen you,
Well,
I'm a
date rape
predator.
does not automatically include drugs.
no.
Right.
But you gotta do. What is the underage thing? That's
No,
what you
the
mean?
date rape
That's
is when
statutory
you're
rape.
dating somebody
Right.
and you rape them.
No, that's a rape on a date.
That's date rape.
No, that's a rape on a date.
Okay, let's look it up.
They've changed the meaning of date rape. I guess they can. I guess women could change it. They could change it. Fill me in.
Not that I guess women can. Anyway,
Because it was a date rape drug is what it was.
right,
Right.
right,
So
because
it was
you're on a
date rape
date.
drug. Right. So they're specifically.
That's what it means. Rape committed by someone with whom the victim has gone on a date. So when you're on a date and you raped, that's what date rape is.
Okay, I'm
With
just
or
letting you know
without the
that's.
drug, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Date
letting you
rape
know that has
drug is when
evolved
you're
and
on a-
changed because in the beginning it was not that. In the beginning
Yes,
it was a date.
was.
Let me explain
I'm
how they
listening.
taught it to
I'm
us.
listening.
I'm not saying I created it. The way it was taught to us is
Right.
just like when I went to college, there's certain drugs you give a girl or a man that will lessen them, and they were called date rape drugs.
Right.
So specifically back then, when they were going crazy on date rape drugs, it was like date rape drugs, date rape, and then it was date rape. You feel me?
Right.
So I guess I continue to think anybody who was charged with date rape use some type of
Use the
influencer.
drug.
You feel me?
Right,
But now it's
That's
like,
what I
no, it's literal. It's gonna be.
That's
We just
what I
want
thought
anybody
all
who was
the way.
on a date and he forced himself in any type of way, we're gonna call that a date rape. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you know what I'm saying. You've conned somebody, right? But it's a gray area because at some point with either one of those, most of the time in the beginning, y'all was cool. You feel me? And then that's the area that those men were able to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I think sometimes rape could be a feeling.
Yes, but that would be definitely another gray area. Though.
It's so gray. It's so great because in this situation, it was white woman, white man. They were in college. They were drinking.
assumed it
Yeah,
was.
you know they on TED Talk about rape and shit. It's like you raped me. Let's have a TED Talk.
Okay.
And they were dating for quite a while, and they had a situation where she didn't want to have sex, and then he ended up still having sex with her, but it traumatized her for like 20 years, and she was at some type of retreat for healing. She was like, let me reach out to him to get his perspective because she was writing a book about it. Actually, that's what's happening, and he had no idea. He was completely clueless to the fact that she felt like she was raped. So
Right.
he came onto the stage to describe his point of view, and I understood it. Because people just be ignorant to, what somebody feels, what somebody.
Yes, people are not very good with body language.
Yeah, that's why
but-
this whole
Yeah.
consent thing is so popular now. Because like,
That's always been popular.
but no, like
But
the whole.
the whole thing that's the thing that they did to make it no confusion is for a woman to say no, right? That way, that if long as you said those words, it can never be confused that you told a man no and to stop. You
Right,
feel me?
right.
So if any point, this is where I'm coming from on that date rape thing. When it comes down to the words and the paperwork, if you never said
If you
"get
never
off me,
said
motherfucker,
no.
stop, I don't want this," then you left it open for a gray area.
It's so horrible.
And it's some bullshit because why didn't you just, not that would have stopped it, mind you.
Right.
I'm not saying that would stop it. I'm talking about when it gets to the paper and to get rid of people saying it's a gray area, that's what you need to have said. And if these two people are being honest and she even being honest, like, I never told him to stop.
With the trend of consent is saying yes. Because you don't have to say no as long as you, like say yes is the consent part.
It's down there to the point where you have to, as men, you got to have a damn contract ready for a woman to sign.
They have
and
movies
shit.
where in futuristic where contracts were being taken
Contracts.
or in bars.
I
But
can
this is
see
the
that
thing, when
with
you say yes,
celebrities.
you gotta say no because
I mean, period. Like just to say that you consent to this shit because anything flip, switch, and come untied.
They
It's
say
my
rich people
version.
have
It's
that,
my
though.
word versus
Yeah.
yours. But then, how did that even feel or sound in the heat of the moment per se? Or when you're meeting somebody, say, "Well, yeah, we're gonna do it. We need to sign a contract." Like that come off creepy
those
to the
people,
person.
only to broke people. Rich people get those things signed all the time. You
They
feel
do.
me? Just fuck me, Chris Brown.
NDAs
Here,
and-
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell us all. How don't we know more of their business? You feel me? Fuck the shit we know that spill out. How can we don't know who all Nick
definitely
Cannon baby mamas
contracts
is?
involved.
You feel me? Because they know better. How come Michael Jordan was able to hide a woman and a child for 17 years before something went south? Because they be having agreements. You feel me? And there are certain types of relationships that are all about agreements from the very beginning. State what you want, state what you expect. And those relationships last a long time. You
I've
feel
had
me?
one situation where this guy asked me for consent too much. Too much. Like if I'm
this okay?
rubbing,
Is this
yes, if I'm rubbing on you, don't ask if you can touch me.
And now see, there's that gray area. Now when we are teaching,
And
when
that's
you
what I'm
teaching,
saying,
I
right?
get
that's
that,
where
but
the
I'm
confusion
That's what I'm
aggressive
saying.
and
You know what
shit.
I
I
mean?
like that aggressive
And now
shit.
it makes shit awkward, whether you in the heat of the moment or if you both thinking about it. Like,
What
okay, we wanna-
ignorant men need to understand is that every woman is different.
True.
And just because you hear a woman say, I like that aggressive shit, don't mean that the woman you talking to gonna like
Don't
that.
like that
That's what they
aggressive
need
shit.
to know. And
Yeah.
that's what mothers and fathers need to teach, and brothers and sisters need to teach each other. That everybody is different. And you can't, first of all, if you learn that you can't treat everybody the same in a relationship, period, you won't think you
Right.
can touch everyone the same.
Right.
But I've encountered woman after woman who don't agree with that. I tell women all the time, I don't appreciate just being arbitrarily rubbed on. You feel me? Or when you talk to me, you got to touch me while you talk. I don't really like that. They get offended. They get offended by it. Like, I can't touch you now. Hey, all I said was I don't like it that way. You feel me?
Right.
So that's a human thing. People who feel like having to have boundaries on a
them
person,
boundaries, yeah.
you feel me, is not loving me completely. I'm supposed to give you all of me. Well, that's all right. Well, whip the titty out. You feel me? Why you talking to me rubbing on my hand like you need to rub me to
Whip
talk
a
about
titty
your day?
out.
Whip a titty out. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll rub your nipple while you rub my hand. That's different.
Oh,
No, it's
wow.
not. That's what I want to rub. Let's be real. Like, keep your hands to yourself until somebody say it's cool.
And then sometimes it's a time and place for everything. Right? Sometimes
Communication.
people just
So now
a
I
little
can't
bit-
whip a titty out.
No,
This is
no,
the
no,
wrong
no.
time.
I
See,
wait.
did
I
that. How
know.
that segued to time.
I was on your fucking side, you know, man.
Okay,
Somebody
bet. All right,
girl
let's go.
touching you, nigga.
Okay, come
Nah,
on.
shut up. I'm gonna leave my point alone, nigga.
You know how I know he know? Because he got those waves. And if you think women ain't reached out,
He always got it. What the?
Because
you are-
tell me a woman
you
ain't touched
want
your
waves,
hair.
don't you?
No,
You want
tell me
waves,
a woman
don't you?
ain't touched your hair without you
They
saying
all-
it.
they all
That's
do.
what
They
that's what I was
sickening.
getting at. They'll reach out and touch your hair. They didn't reach out and touch mine. It's like, okay, grab a ass.
But see, so it's further to the point that I was making, right? Some people are just so touchy-feely, and it's like, to me, sometimes I feel like they are overly exerting themselves into your space and like forcing you to be cool with them or forcing you.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
like,
you don't know my story yet.
I don't even know you like
Yeah.
that for you to be. You know what I mean? And I don't like you like that for you to be all.
And that's how they judge you too.
Yeah.
Now that person who
And now
likes to
you're
be
the wrong-
touchy, they're judging you on not wanting to be
Hey,
touched.
how about this? I like to be touched, but maybe just not by you. I don't like you like that. You know what I mean? And then
I
that's
don't
when
even
they
know
get
if I do.
That's
You
when they
started
get
this off
offended.
so
That's when
fast
they
with
get
protection.
offended. That's when they get offended.
This
like,
is why communication is important.
People,
Let's
yeah,
just
that's
say
yeah.
what we like.
That's why I
And
lose
then
people all the
accept
time,
it.
though.
That what we speaking on is a chick that's like that. Like we ain't even had that talk yet.
Yeah.
It's just that's just her way that she is. Or
First,
men.
this is the
Or
first
men
date.
are
Yeah, this is
that
the
way.
first date,
that's
and you
what I'm
already
saying.
rubbing on me while we talking.
You ain't even
And
give
it's
me.
like,
You ain't even got to the point of having that conversation.
Stop rubbing me. I just don't like to be swayed. You feel me? When Kansas State, Kentucky State came to recruit me as a high school football player, one of the things the coaches asked me is, if you go to Central Michigan, who gonna braid your hair? I was 17 years old and felt offended by him asking me that. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, ain't no sisters up there. Ain't no black coaches up there. I was like, so
really?
that's
It is.
that's the
Really?
angle you coming at me
Really?
with as a professional, you as a college football coach. When I got done going off on dog at 17 years old, I went back to lunch. The coach come in and asked, what you say to him? They said they ain't gonna recruit here no more. We don't want them. If they think they can, even if that's how you think I may feel, for you to be so uncouth as to talk to me that way, bro, you don't be trying to expose my racism that way. Go on somewhere. I'm more sophisticated than that. That shit was
sophisticated
crazy. So,
prejudice.
but the relationship things are important and communication is important. But
Communication
false
is
communication, right? Mm-hmm. Segues us into one of her topics on the list today. I had to look it up. It's called breadcrumbing.
Breadcrumbing.
Breadcrumbing is a relationship red flag. Is something that I guess people do. I've been guilty of it, so I've been told once I looked it up. So you want to talk about that?
When I initially wrote that topic down, it was years ago, and I wrote, I like breadcrumbing, but I don't feel the same way. I don't feel the same way.
Did you recently look it up?
No, I know what it meant.
because I'm about to say recent definitions matter.
But I think that my what I've liked in relationships has changed after being in a horribly toxic relationship. I'm like, okay, I want something healthy.
You were saying you liked when someone did the breadcrumbing to you, or you like doing? Okay, so explain to the people what it is, though, for those.
Okay, breadcrumbing is when you meet someone and y'all have an interaction, and they don't initially state what they want with you or their intent with you. Mm-hmm. Instead, they sparingly, which means throughout time, send you messages or be like, hey, come over, or be like, hey, what you doing? Like once a month, once a week, just to keep you on a leash, just to keep you in rotation. Uh-huh. But they aren't trying to do anything serious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a real.
So we're just labeling that. It's a label. We're not saying whether it's wrong or right.
Right.
It's just whether or not you're okay with that. Because some people on the receiving end could be like, well, I'm not really looking for anything serious.
Right.
You feel me? And I got my own plethora of situations or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's whatever. But if you're, like you say, without stating intent, we don't know what each other is out here looking for.
Right.
This becomes very AI. Right. You're at the bar and you're like, hello, suitable companion. Right? And it's like, I am looking for friends. I am looking for sexual relations. Oh, well, we're not compatible, are we? Enjoy your evening. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's going to be. Cause like you say, at the end, you're going to sign my digital chest, and I'm going to sign yours, and then our AIs can go do it to each other.
I think what happens more with breadcrumbing is they know that they don't want you, you know, like it's not even as a friend, just I just want you to be around so that you can think that I like you enough to keep you around.
Oh yeah, I always want something.
Yeah,
I'm way too irritable to be checking up on you just to keep you in the orbit. That's a person I feel like has no light. You feel me?
Light.
No, you don't have a light for real, because those people are going to be. I learned this from like fighting, right? When they diagram a fight, they'll say the inner circle and then the outer circle. And then they'll go like 3 or 4 rails before they be like the watchers. Because 2 circles out, you can still attack that person, right? You 2 people out, you can still kick them or something, right? No one's innocent until like the 3rd circle. You feel me? None of these people could have hit this person.
Interesting.
On a positive note, you're a person with a light. You got your family and friends. They right there. You feel me? They feel it the most, the ones that you fuck with every day. You can't go a day, 2 days, 3 the most without communicating with these people. Now we got text. You said they don't call you. But now they can text you. Yeah. They can inbox you. 72 hours, this person, they're going to say something to you. You know what I'm saying? And then the circles go out.
Yeah.
That's a person who hasn't managed to have that. You feel me? Because people with a light, Mark has a light. I have one, even though it's big and dark. You feel me? But you don't have to reel motherfuckers in. You know what I'm saying?
That's the point.
And it's just being 100% real. I invited Feel Good to be a guest because I like Do It Detroit. You feel me? She took it upon herself to see this, observe us, and then say, hey, are y'all looking for a co-host? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just be yourself. Those people are probably in the end boring people, lame people. Liars, you know what I'm saying? They projecting other people's personas, because that's a thing too.
I think in my situation, most men that I meet be trying to fuck.
Well, that's the thing they want.
So they like try and keep me on the little leash to be like, oh, okay, so just so she know I'm here, let me send her this hey message.
Well, see, that's weird though, because with that, I don't know you never know how involved you got to be to have sex with a woman. Like, you can't, that's not going to work with every woman that has sex with them. I would assume if you have a light of your own, that's not going to work. That's just a dumb nigga. You feel me? Because if you don't think she got somebody that hits her up every day, and for her to see you only hitting her up every blue moon, right? You looking for a girl who ain't nobody saying shit to be like, oh my God, he did text me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, go on some motherfucking word, man. She wake up with all types of shit in her inbox. And you talking about, hey, just wanted to check on you. You know how many good mornings she got today, bro? you ain't got to do that. All right, so breadcrumbing is for the lame. This is a rape I didn't know about.
A rape?
A form of it. Oh. The women said there's dudes in workplaces, schools, stuff like that kind of do the Urkel. They constantly be trying to wear them down, I guess. And they said you end up giving in to sex with them in order to them to leave you alone. This is a whole thing. And I was like, so you set a date, meet up, go to a place, get naked with a person, have sex with them, and you hope they stop talking to you and leave you. I swear to God, it was supported online.
Because you know this person is upset. You do this because you know that this person is obsessed with you.
But wouldn't that make them more?
Right. That's the point that I'm making. And you do that to make them stop.
Yeah, no.
It took off online, bro. It was a whole thing. First of all, that made me feel some type of way because I mean, that means there's so many professional brothers or brothers in professional settings that are also predators, right? Or at least trying to, damn, them thighs looking good today. Damn, that ass looking good today. Damn, the titties looking good today. Like,
it's
bro.
Like pity
pussy. That's what they called it. That's what they called it. Sympathy pussy or pity pussy. That's what they called it.
Oh, wow.
Pity pussy. My thing is this, though. Dudes don't give a fuck. Pity pussy, sad pussy, angry pussy. You still gave it to them.
Pussy, yeah.
But the sister said on that post, it was a good post. She said, those are women who have no protection. Because I'm like, you ain't called nobody. You want to keep the job, so you do this. But you ain't called, you ain't told nobody. It's like they ain't got nobody to tell. And that makes more sense to me, too. Now you're like, I don't want to lose this job. Who am I supposed to talk to? The boss is his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like those are career-minded people. Baby, if you work at fucking UPS, you can tell. You know what I'm saying? I feel like these are people who like on their career climb up in some places. You know what I'm saying?
I could see that being the case in a situation where you feel like a man will possibly harm you if he doesn't get it.
And it could be a professional harm.
Right.
That's why I believe career-wise, this would matter to career-minded people. Right.
Yeah.
So this means to us, what we have to understand is our sisters get that. Why they say this happens to all women in all these different levels? Because our sisters get degrees, go to college, make it through without being assaulted, get their ass all the way to a workplace, making $50 a year. And now here come dog from fucking printing and shit. Just keep sliding up, figuring out something to say or do.
That's what happened with what's her name? Debbie Allen, and the owner of BT.
Debbie Allen, or you talking about? Is that her name?
Yeah, the CEO.
That's her name too.
The CEO, Debbie Allen.
No, I don't think her name is.
No, that's the wrong.
Debbie Allen is, but I know she light skinned with short hair though. She is. We got to look her up to see her real name.
Her name isn't Debbie Allen.
No, Debbie Allen is another light skinned lady with short hair.
Oh, that's the dancer.
Yeah,
yes.
Debbie Allen is the dancer.
Yes, you talking about the lady who running things now over there. Her name might be Deborah something though. If we have people that watch currently and not after, which I usually do, somebody could tell us right now.
Her name is Deborah Lee.
Deborah Lee.
I was backwards with
correction.
the Al
We're sorry, Debbie Allen. You know I got a gripe to pick with you
so
because you disowned your sister.
beautiful.
But we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about Deborah Lee. Deborah Lee wrote a book. Some of us have heard about that. And in that book, she talked about how she felt pressed into sex with the dude, Bob Johnson or some shit, who owned BET. Let's get their names right. But she said in that book, you know, back then was what it was. You do what you do. It was an affair that went on something like 27 years.
Right.
My thing is,
Robert
at what
Johnson.
point did you still think he could ruin you? You feel me? She done got all of the promotions that she's supposed to get.
Yeah.
He done definitely kept his end of the bargain. She done sexed her. She admitted to sexing her way to the top. Mm-hmm. So did you sex your way to the top or did a dude trick on you? Either way, it was consensual. Mm-hmm. But she's letting you know this was the situation.
Yeah.
Rich ass dude had all the cards and he liked me
And every
he was
time,
a fucking dork. He even looks like a dork now.
does.
He's always looked like a dork.
Very corny.
He look a little corny. His head down, his shoulders is up. He's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm worth $1 billion, you know. But that would be like that though. Like we had the money, and I mean, look at our old president. He had all the money, but he looked like that. You might want to touch that.
She said every time that she tried to leave, he would threaten her like, "Well, you should. If you leave me, you're gonna have to quit." And then she got to a point where she was in control of the situation. She just stopped. Where she felt like she was in control.
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, it had to come a point where she like, you can't do this anymore.
Right. Yeah. Like
I've been in a
fuck you.
situation like that. There was a woman that I used to work with in the community when I was married to my white wife. She used to tell me all the time when I tried to get it away from her that if you did this, see that right there? That's unfortunate.
Every time
Listen,
you say
and that's
white
what that
wife.
woman, and that shit right there is why that woman did that to me.
God
I'll tell
damn.
everybody you got a white wife and it'll ruin you in the community and you won't be able to lead anything. First of all, I had to learn that wasn't true.
No,
right?
yeah, no.
But with these type of reactions at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, What was I supposed to think? So this woman was literally able to keep me around,
Damn.
keep me fucking her, keep me trying to act like being her friend, because anytime I was like, dog, I'm straight on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'll tell everybody you got a white wife.
Malicious.
You feel me? So I divorced the bitch, right? And I didn't tell her. And the next time she pulled that shit, I was like, I'm not even married to that bitch no more. Your ass is fired. You know what I'm saying? You fired, bitch, you fired. And then she was gone forever. And there's plenty of people who understand who I'm talking about. But that's what I had to do to her. That was when I first came home, first started doing this shit. It was all love, but she was like building me up in the community and forcing me to do shit I ain't want privately. You feel me? And then when I decided I was straight on the shit, she started blackmailing me with my marriage, which I didn't even care about, was barely respecting anyway, unfortunately.
Wow.
But that's what she was using. Like, won't nobody do your events no more. I just thought it was like some super community of black power, black pride, which don't even fucking exist.
Unfortunately.
Turns out they'll follow dudes who steal shit, who rape shit, who bullshit. It don't matter. It's so few black men willing to stand up and do right. Our sisters and young people have no choice but to follow the half-ass people. I'm a twice convicted violent felon. You feel me? Now, I love my community, and I ain't never hurt nobody who ain't do nothing to me. But the fucking point is, it's got to be better qualified people to be doing what I'm doing, but they don't give a fuck about doing
you stepping
it.
Up, right? You stepping up to the plate and doing it.
But now that it's a thing, they're all doing it for each other, right? Some of our Juneteenth events was so motherfucking bougie and kept to themselves. They found another way to separate themselves from the masses. You know what I'm saying? That's why the way we do Juneteenth is so important, because as long as the broke, poor people keep making the most noise, well, shit they do matter. You feel me? So, moving on to the next topic on her list.
Right. Speaking of women who are in toxic situations,
shit,
I think
real shit.
I think some women actually like to be toxic. Like it's a thing
Oh my
to like
God. Yeah.
to like
they
to
celebrate
be.
They celebrate it.
Yeah, and that's a form of masochism.
That's where I was going to that.
To like harm,
Okay.
to like abuse. To enjoy it, to actually invite it and to provoke it.
So the people that, men and women, when they say, oh, they just like to argue, you know what I'm saying? That's a form of masochism. You enjoy the anger. It's something that your wires are crossed in a way where this is a way you feel appealment. You like this. I don't know if that's a word, but that's appeals to you. That's why I don't believe in makeup sex. I don't do that. I don't believe in makeup sex. I need you to do that, what I asked you to do.
Yeah,
you feel
let's
me?
communicate into a place where we better.
The same man who believes in makeup sex is the type of pimp who believes he can fuck women into being hoes. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it with your member, sir. Right? It can only last for so long. But you can, because that's what they say you can. It'll last for so long. But I'm in things for the longevity of it. So if we can't connect mentally, it's not going to work. Even if I'm trying to get you to do some bullshit. Because I'm too lazy to fuck you all the time. You feel me? I'm too lazy to use that as a thing. Like, oh, she on her way.
Right.
Let me make sure I can wear her out again. I'm not about to keep doing this. Fuck out of here. You going to do right because you going to do right.
You know who was a famous masochist? Billie Holiday.
Go ahead.
You like, what? No,
I'm not touching it.
It was in her documentary. All her friends would say that she enjoyed it. She would be in healthy relationships, and then she would break up with them to be with a toxic man.
Well, they definitely showed that to some degree
in her movies. Yeah. And the people that knew her close would be like, she was a masochist, and she liked this.
Which is self-sabotage in a way.
Yeah.
Her self-sabotage was a form of masochism. So that's, mind you, a lot of our labels come from our suburban people. This is a sidebar, just so y'all know. So a lot of these labels come from suburban people. A lot of these behaviors that we're experiencing from black men came from suburban people. You got to understand that black men weren't even allowed to be in office places and wear suits and work this way.
Right.
So before we got there, that dynamic had already formed. You feel me? And then when black men got into offices, they did not get into a level where they could force themselves on anyone. So what's so crazy is with us evolving and with us becoming more involved in politics and business and with us becoming more millionaires, it trickles down and more black men have power and more black men have influence in the workplace and vice versa with women. And then they, it depends what type of person you is.
And I think that's where masochism is enjoyed. Like if you have this much power over somebody, you want to be overpowered. Like when men like to be dogged and,
Yeah, I heard of those men.
abused
Yes, I've sent a woman or
and
two.
walked
Yes.
with a collar and shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like, oh,
yes.
this is thrilling because it's like it's releasing dopamine that they don't get when they are in control.
Yeah, I'd rather like go bungee jumping or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what other men do who feel that same way. They jump out of planes. They'll be like, Bill, you're worth $1 billion. He's like, but I gotta feel the wind out of my face. Because nothing, I'm in control of everything else. You feel me? I said, I went to Great Wolf Lodge a couple years ago, and there was a water slide, and I'd never been on a water slide before. And I got on it, stood in line, got on it, and felt amazing. You feel me? Because nowhere else in my life, probably other than football, had I ever felt weightless and just moved so fast. You feel me? Feet off the ground, just flying through the motherfucking air. I stood in that line with them kids 97 times. Wow. I just kept getting out, getting right back in the line. It was the greatest time of my life because it's something that you don't get. You feel me? So imagine that being some dude sitting up in a high-rise building, running the air. It's 170 people that listen to him.
Right.
He just wants somebody who's going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But imagine the
force.
dynamic. Since when, how long did it take for a black man to even be in a position to want that? You feel me? It was the opposite. We wanted to overpower the women because we had no power anywhere else. You feel me? But the way to do it sexually, again, came from our suburban predecessors. You feel me? How to do it, what to do, the chains, the dog walking, the beating. It all came from, it was taught to us from our parents. You know what I'm saying? Our plantation parents. They did it to us. We learned from it. You feel me? And we took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that's the same reason why our women insist on shaving themselves. No one even knows that all started from one white man and his idea. We forget that Hugh Hefner is responsible for introducing that.
Really?
Him and him alone. This was his idea of a woman. The era before
Hairless.
him, all women had hair on them. You know what I'm saying? On their private parts. When he came out with that magazine, this is what sexy is. And we couldn't afford that magazine, but your boss worked for him. He left it in the bathroom at the shop. You cleaned the floors at the house of the man who started getting the subscription. Now your man at home wondering why you don't look like this. Fuck it. All right, cut it off. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how it was. Foxy Brown and all of them, oh, they could walk down the street naked. You wouldn't see shit.
I was just looking up Foxy Brown. She's so fine with her
Pam
fine
Grierdon
ass.
showed us her rear end so many times.
Yeah. And she still looks the
Felicia
same.
Rashad.
She's so beautiful.
All right, let's not go too far. Okay. All right, so back to the list.
You're like, we're bearing
I
too
seen
much.
that Showtime with her on it. That ain't coffee no more. That's more like Folgers.
What? Stop.
I mean, she our elder and our queen, and she gave us the best years of her life.
did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she definitely keep a scarf wrapped around that neck at this point.
Oh.
Not because it's wrinkly. It's not wrinkly. It's very thick.
All right. Okay.
got a lot of
We're
rolls.
moving on now, huh?
You know who's gonna be like that? Look, you know what I mean? Like, remember Baby Fat? She gonna be like that. Remember the Baby Fat wife? I used to count the rings in her neck. That woman had 4 Camorley neck so damn long, man.
goodness.
Dog, if she get big, it's gonna be a row of donuts. Just
It was always
She
long.
look like a glowworm.
man, her. Because I know what a glowworm is. All right, so here we go.
A glowworm.
PTSD from going through lovers' phones and vice versa. Let's go there.
I added that because that's what I have. I'm suffering. Hi, my name is Sukari. Feel good. And I have PTSD from going through my ex's phone.
You went through their phone.
I went through his phone.
I mean,
and
you didn't trust him in the beginning.
No. He was a narcissist. And it was the first time I ever been in a relationship with a toxic person. And I knew he was lying, but I wanted to prove it to myself that I was right. So I started going through his phone. And I stayed.
You
That's
didn't
dumb.
trust him, like I said.
That's dumb. Yeah, I didn't trust him.
And then when I said it, you said like, no.
And it wasn't nothing there?
And then you explain how you didn't trust him. But,
Yeah.
but I'm just.
I mean, I meant no as in yes.
Oh.
And you didn't find anything?
I found a lot.
Oh.
I found out that he was one of those guys that was begging. He was a beggar.
But you said you
He was a
stayed.
desperate. I stayed.
Because he was a beggar?
I stayed. I don't even want to get into why I stayed.
All
I
right,
want to
let's
talk
not-
about
we
the
don't got enough time,
PTSD
right.
that I got from looking at your phone being open right now and wanting to read it just because.
Right.
Like, we not dealing with each other. Why am I trying to, even if
Because you want to know what people are into.
Probably.
I'd
Yes.
love to look in everyone's phone. That's not a dude.
But it's an adrenaline rush that
so
I
all the
get.
women.
It's an adrenaline rush that I get whenever anybody's phone is around me or they hand it to me. They be like, "Oh, put this in there," and I be like, "My instant reaction is to pull down the little notification thing." And I don't even know
why.
just because I do it by mistake. I'll be like, oh shit, that's not my phone.
notifications are knock your socks off. I was just
It's
looking
like
up
a-
Cambodian
Pictures and
midgets
stuff,
2 days ago.
Huh, I can't hear both of y'all when y'all talking
No,
at
I
the
said
same
I
time.
just said you be going through people pictures and shit. What you saying?
See,
For
none of
no
my pictures.
reason. You
Ain't
know
got no
that
pictures of
feeling
me.
you get when you scratch an itch and your heart be racing and you like, oh,
I
that
never
feels
itch.
so good. You don't.
No.
You've never itched.
I never itch.
Anyways.
She gave me the vibe like she need to be on. Remember that TV show? Now I forget.
Taboo.
That's what it feel like.
No, the girl who used to eat
Taxi Cab
chalk and
Confessions?
shit. It's like people that got the weird
yeah.
obsessions.
Oh,
and
true
shit.
love.
What is your
life.
anxiety on? It was like, what's it? My anxiety is on 10. Yeah.
No, it's just people that got weird obsessions. People that do weird
Yeah.
shit. Like that's all.
I think it was True Life. I'm obsessed
the
with
one
eating
chick
chocolate.
eat the
Shit
couch.
like that.
She eat the couch.
Yeah.
and-
This one
you know
person
what
was
I'm
eating
talking
a... Yeah, it was
she
called True
shaped like a
Life.
couch
True
now.
Life.
True
I know
Life.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's fucked
One
up.
person was eating a lover's ashes.
I don't-
True Life. I'm
I can
addicted
find,
to-
I can find deepness in that. But, okay, so went through phones.
Oh, that shit is-
Yeah.
I went through a homeboy's phone once. I'll never do that again.
What?
Right? He was passing it around.
Oh.
I'll never do that again.
And he was just
Wow.
bored. He was like, let me just see
Strip
what's
club
here.
shit, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Strip club shit, dog. And I judged him harshly. And I never touched another man's phone again.
Because it's always... it's
I went through
it's
a
like-
woman's phone once and found out she had messed around with a dude that was so old, like so
Well, what's
old.
wrong with that?
It fucked me up. Like he was old, and I was like,
He was probably paying
"Fuck
a
this
bill
old
or
dude."
something.
No,
Oh,
it was just
she
to
just
get back
liked
at
it?
me. It was just to get back at me.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit, the old guy?
The oldest
like
guy?
the old guy. It was gross.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't went through some phones.
They
Usually if
dick
I don't
still
find
work.
nothing that can, I don't say anything. It's, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to keep being able to get into it.
Right.
So if I didn't figure out the code, I'm not going to tell you. I'll look in that joint for the longest.
Just I used to
Until I find
the first
something.
time I ever went through his phone, right?
You said you
I
judged
was
him harshly.
I took it while he was sleeping. He was a hard sleeper.
That shit killed me. Go ahead.
I went to the bathroom and I was like in there on his phone just scrolling, going through internet browser history,
Where was he at?
Snapchat. He was asleep. He was sleeping hard. And what I found made me so disgusted that I threw up.
Was he
Would you
gay?
like to expound?
No.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You said you found begging, right?
Yes.
A woman looked through my phone once and was very upset because of how raunchy I was talking to women. You feel me? Like, send me a pic, spread that motherfucker open.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And I was just like, do you know how upset you'd have been if you looked in there I was writing poetry?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, your
He was a
eyes.
simp. He was such a simp.
No, I mean, the best
It
thing I
was
can
so
get out of the
disgusting.
women in my past who, the ones I done had issues with, they can all say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He said the same shit. He did the same shit. Yeah, I'm a nasty motherfucker. Move on. What next? I'm not going to treat anybody.
I don't know why.
I'm not going to do it.
People are who they are, but I don't know why I don't like that. Like, I be wanting to feel like I'm special. Like, say something to me different. I don't know. Even though all women call niggas daddy, I mean, I guess.
I don't even accept
similar-
that. I don't accept
Y'all don't-
that shit. I don't think people of sound mind and body like those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know too much and we understand too much for you to be doing
I don't
that.
like it.
You know what
It
I'm saying?
feels weird
I
for
don't-
me to
It's
say
so
it.
Yeah.
listen. That's why at this point, despite the culture of it, that's why my daughter and my child, they don't call me that. None of my daughters call me that. They call me Baba.
right.
I don't even want to hear it. Don't
Right.
even say it.
Yeah.
You feel me? We gonna make that so foreign to your motherfucking tongue.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, what?
It's giving daddy
No.
issues.
You feel me? Like, no. And then what really messed me up is the ones who have fathers. That exist.
They
Like,
call them daddy and they man daddy. Oh no.
weird as hell. That's weird.
Very
That's weird for
peculiar.
everyone involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Moaning.
it's more weird for the man that accepts it. This woman is just doing something she
moaning,
think you
daddy.
want. You so remedial
be
and
like-
basic that she calling you daddy and you like it. You so whack. You so whack. That's probably some more pedophile shit that came from our suburban
Ew.
predecessors.
It's definitely
Stop
from a
doing shit
fucked
that
up
they taught
reason.
y'all. I shouldn't say that. Most of my degradation came from them.
Choctaw.
I learned what I learned from the white people.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
I don't
Yeah.
even know. I don't know. What
Yeah,
else.
because sisters, we didn't know. You feel me? Like, for example, when I was in the hood as a teenager, there was one openly lesbian girl, right? And she came into our neighborhood. She wasn't from there. She moved there. When she moved there, girl back girl. She started knocking their ass off. You feel
course.
me? because she was new.
She was open
and she licking.
Yeah.
You feel me? You ain't got to do nothing with her for real. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know she had been doing that. I'm talking about messing with the girls we wanted to mess with. You feel me? She done did it all with all of them, and now they're fighting in the street over her. You feel me? She came to me trying to hit a blunt one day, and I said, girl, you have literally ate more pussy than I have. I'm straight. You feel me?
Ben.
God, you know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers be out here and they be getting it in and moving around and they just like a new thing. Whatever is new, whatever is hot. So whenever somebody come along doing something different, you know, it's going to be hot for a minute. But then people get a hold of themselves. None of the shit I used to do with the women I used to do with, they not interested in it now. I already asked them. You feel me? Like I'm back on the market and shit. I'm like, yeah, remember that thing? They like, I got a child.
Right,
I'm
like,
too old to be in cars.
You have moved on
like,
from
what?
that shit.
You used to love the truck though. It's over.
One thing that I learned recently is that if it's not healthy, it's toxic. It's no in between. It's no in between.
You talking about food?
We're talking about relationships.
All right, well, cool then, because that's cool. Because healthy don't mean you got to be over corny or something like that. It just means you're not doing anything that's toxic.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and most of these relationships be toxic as fuck. People be used to toxicity because that's
Is
what
it
they
toxic
saw
if you go to church
in
and your
family.
partner don't?
No. What?
Is it toxic if you're a devout religious person and your partner isn't?
No. I think toxic is when you're like, oh, you're going to hell because you don't go to my church. That's toxic. I mean, as long as you're communicating and saying I respect what you do and I respect what you do, that's healthy. It's all about communicating and how y'all interact with each other. It don't seem healthy for someone
to be on the path of religion and saving their soul, and for the person they most love and sit next to has no desire to do that.
I mean, you know, they could just respect their life choices and what they want to do.
Well, it's saying death do us part, so I'll be in heaven and you'll be in hell.
Or maybe that person feels the same way. They just don't go about doing it the same way.
That was the example I gave, though. The other person ain't in it. They don't go. They don't do it. They ain't with it. They don't pray.
I personally can't date anybody who is a devout, super religious Christian because they are often very judgmental, and I don't.
That shirt would be.
You know, all the picture I just posted would be off the table
with the tongue out. It's
no,
off the
I didn't
table.
Post that.
Oh, because it's off the table now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I don't even go to.
It was a good picture. Anyway,
it was all right for rock stars and hoodlums.
Okay, I'll be that. I'm not opposed to either of those things. That was not offensive
at all.
I'm like, okay.
Wow. That's as offensive, non-offensive as I could get. It was good for the joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, rock stars.
That's my line. That's my
You feel me?
shit.
I wanted to say punks. I'm
not going to go farther.
I didn't want to, but, you know, amongst white people, they would have understood it.
Yeah.
You know
black people be like, what?
Fuck you just I ain't no punk. Right. Like, that's the whole vibe.
It's different.
The banana pudding. We're going to talk about the banana pudding. She brought banana pudding. I'm not going to show it because it's not the best. I done shook it up. But the banana pudding. We're gonna wrap this show up with this. We've all been born in different eras, and everything just keeps on changing. And apparently, banana pudding has changed.
Yes.
Okay. They don't want bananas in their banana pudding, and there's no vanilla wafers in their banana pudding.
Too soggy. You gotta put the Lorna Doones. You gotta put the chessmen cookies. You know.
I use this as an example because when people say what happened to the hood, we used to care about the hood. Understand that just the way that banana pudding evolved and changed because the young people who used to eat it did not like the vanilla wafers. They did not like the bananas turning black.
Yeah.
When they grew older, they took the bananas out. And they took the wafers out because they had options. If the parents before them didn't like that, they didn't have those options anyway. You feel me? If you want banana pudding, that's what we got.
Come on.
So
that's the privilege that
as we go forward in the hood, understand when you say we used to look out for each other, the children that got told on and got their ass whooped by the neighbor up the street didn't like that. They grew up and stopped it, right? That's when you started hearing, stay out my business. Oh, lady, that was a child who had grew up, who had got her ass whooped and got told on by somebody down the street. You feel me? We let one thing go, we let other things go. You feel me? If we just keep saying the way they did it wasn't right, then we can't be complaining about where we are now. You must believe the way you're doing it right. If you believe this banana pudding is good,
it's so good.
Then the same parents who like, well, I don't know he did it down. You must think your neighbor's not talking to you is good. You must think not communicating with your neighbors is good. You didn't let it go. Don't let go of everything. If you want to know why something has changed, look at what it used to be. What changed it?
We certainly need a village.
You feel
Everybody
me? We
need a
have
village.
villages, but then even within the villages, motherfuckers be on bullshit, man. Dog, if you're gonna tell me you steal cause you broke, you kill cause you was disrespected, all right, stealing and killing is back on the table. You feel me? But you can't give me a good reason for raping anyone. And whenever I speak on it, it's fucking crickets. I'm just looking for somebody I can righteously bust over their fucking head. Somebody we can righteously say, stay out of our hood.
Right.
When the women say protect us, if I tell you I want to protect you, I will protect you. Your brother is the fucking threat. You got to be willing to say, okay, well, get rid of him.
Right.
You can't say protect your black
That's
women,
my brother.
but not my brother or my uncle.
He
They
did
my
that,
family.
but
Your brother and your uncle
like
are
the
pieces of
whole
shit.
like the whole free Ray Ray. But this nigga didn't. He done did so many shit.
Well, it depends. We just said, did he kill? Why did he kill? We've already justified killing in the
Over
hood.
a
We just
damn
justified it.
chicken sandwich.
It depends. Was he hungry? Whose chicken
Wow.
sandwich was it? Did they talk to him sideways?
So it's the system.
Old dog killed the nigga over a sandwich,
like-
but it wasn't the sandwich. Did old dog kill him over the sandwich or over what he said?
The system is the problem.
You feel me? That's why I said it comes down to, if you're going to justify it in the hood, it's not just the police said you can't kill, it was over a sandwich. They're going to be like, what was the conversation? He said the sandwich was made wrong. He said, fuck you. That's a trigger. You talking to a young black man with a gun, with nothing to lose. Don't say fuck you to him. You feel me? I just saw a young sister go ape shit on the air because he thought he whispered something under his breath. She clowned. You feel me? And I was just standing there and
Trauma.
waiting, just watching, just
Traumatized.
waiting. You feel me? But they ain't come from behind the counter, nothing crazy. He just started, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, you thought she wasn't going to say shit. You thought she didn't hear that
Oh, that's
shit.
what was
And
happening.
then, and then, of course, he didn't come from behind the counter and respond how you know he probably would have, because you were standing there regardless of you being with her or not. Your presence alone.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted that
Exactly.
sister to know. Like, I have gotten involved with people's shit before, and that's come back on me, so I don't just jump out there. But I wish she would have known I was with her, because on her way out, she was like, I ain't none of these scary ass niggas. I'm in my head like, bitch, I'm ready. But all right, you feel me?
Let me
But
not.
I can't. I'm 8 feet tall. I can't be like that. I done that before.
In that situation, she more so trying to prove and boss up to everybody and like kind of, be bravado, show
Yeah,
her
I mean, she
bravado
already
assert
going
her
in
position.
front of
Yeah, I just
everybody
wish
that's
she could have
there.
known.
Yeah.
Trying to prove herself, like prove that she tough in front of everybody,
I ain't
not
scared of
knowing
none
that
of
these
these.
motherfuckers that got her back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you ain't even had to do all.
But that's how you do when you go off. You go off on everybody in the room.
gotta go
You know what I'm saying? When
I'll beat
that's how
all
they taught you in
y'all
the
ass.
joint. If you gonna go off, you go off on everybody in the
And
motherfucking
fuck
room.
you too.
Yeah, you fuck all y'all. Like, all right.
Like
baby.
who?
I just want you to know I had your back though. You know what I'm
But
saying? Lady with the
anyways-
purple bonnet on Grand River in Schaefer.
Let's
If
give a
you
moment
out there,
for her.
just know I had your back against the motherfuckers and you whispered that shit. under your
Yes,
breath.
lady with the purple bonnet.
But y'all keep on eating y'all futuristic banana pudding. I'ma find me an elder. An elder.
She is an elder. I got it from.
She said she got it from a
I
55-year-old
got it
woman.
from Carrot Cake with a Twist.
Carrot cake with a twist is
In
beautiful.
Bucharest.
In Bucharest.
Yes, it's a whole section. Don't
Are
you
there
heard?
dates in here?
No, it's not. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown Muslim woman who makes very amazing desserts.
Are there dates in here? I guarantee.
It's not
you.
no dates in there.
I told you
it's
I was
sugar.
crunching something.
It's no dates in there.
Okay, so she said it's an Arabic woman.
She's Muslim. No,
She's
she's,
a black Muslim.
and Muslim.
That's what I'm
Muslim.
Yeah, I mean you said it.
Muslim.
Muslim. Right. All right. Well, we not.
M-O-O-S-E.
She brought up your religion system. That has nothing to do with this banana pudding.
It doesn't.
I believe the banana pudding is
It
the way it
doesn't.
is because
you
she is
are
trying
amazing,
to cater
and
to
I
the new
appreciate
people.
you so much. This
feel
is
me?
my 15th banana pudding.
Jesus Christ. She is opening the door for so many comments. You know what I'm saying?
So
But
good.
what we want you to
You
know
are
is you
banana
keep
pudding
on
at this
feeding
point.
those people
You
that
are.
say it's
I
your
will
bestseller.
be.
I'm lactose intolerant, but I still ate some. It tastes great.
Okay.
It just didn't have the things in it
Bring
that
me
I
one
like.
next time.
Like
I a
bananas and
classic-
vanilla
yeah, I like a
wafers.
classic banana pudding. I needed to be old in 2 days. You feel me?
Oh.
That's what it was like. Eat this shit or it's going bad. You understand what I'm saying?
my
When the
goodness.
banana pudding was made, it was like, get your bowls
And I
ready.
don't like
the
that.
moment I cut these bananas up, they start
They-
going bad.
Immediately.
But it's the best. That next day, when they all gray,
Ugh.
that should be good as hell.
Be all mushy.
I said not too long ago, can we admit that everything that don't look good sometimes still tastes good? Or everything that don't smell good sometimes still tastes good? It's the hood, man.
Like
I had a
pussy.
plate of ugly shit.
Like pussy.
Why did you take the thought out of my? I'm
After I ignored so many chances to say vulgar things, you feel me? But I had a plate of ugly shit the other day. It was like all sides running into each other, once you get to eating it, the cornbread over here, the greens over here, and it was still good. Everything on the plate was edible. Shit was delicious. But it was plated horribly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was still
The plating
good.
has nothing to do with the.
You feel me? Soul food can be mixed up in any type of way. Every spoon is gonna be good. That's why we shit. Some things are good individually in other cultures, but if you mix them together, they're gonna fuck you up.
My favorite food is Ethiopian food.
I thought he was gonna play the crickets.
Oh wow, you wanted
I
that.
snored.
It's
I mean,
so
that was
good.
enough and shit.
Give me a couple of meals from the Ethiopian.
Well, they have the injera bread, right? And
Injera
it's
bread.
all like spongy and light, and it don't fill you up. And then they have the curried potatoes and the greens.
And this is a
and
spicy potato, curry potato. Is it
No,
necessarily
curry
spicy?
isn't spice. Curry
Okay.
is with turmeric and other shit.
Okay.
But it's so good, the flavor. And that injera, it's like kind of sour, so a lot of people don't like it, but I
Remember
love
when we
it.
said bring food?
Yeah. That was the food.
No, what I'm saying as we go forward.
Oh, bring it?
As
Yes,
we go
I will.
forward,
Because it's
yeah.
so you eat it with your hands, you know?
You
taste food better with your hands.
Man. Me and my brother ate fufu last year, and he ate for the first time with his hands. They brought him a cloth.
Oh, wow.
And he got to,
He
clean
cleansed his hands,
That's
yeah.
the shit that look like doo doo with the.
It don't look like doo-doo.
No, it's
With the
actually
ball.
It
a
was
mash.
lamb meat and a white ball of what you can't tell is either mashed potatoes or bread.
Yeah, it's that.
You feel me?
It's
but
mashed
nothing looks
yams.
like food.
It's mashed yams.
What's mashed yams?
Fufu.
Because they're white.
Yam
are
is white.
Yes, yams are white. The
Yeah.
ones we have here.
Yam is not a sweet potato. Let's just put
Right.
that out there. Sweet potato is yellow. Yam is white.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are they orange?
Orange.
They white.
Orange. No, sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes are red, orange.
Yeah, red, orange. You said yellow.
Yellow. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
they
a
could
squash?
come yellow too, but they
I
are
don't want a yellow
usually
Hey,
squash.
red.
speaking of yellow, what's up with, since I know y'all probably know a little bit more about it than I do, what's the fuck is up with these yellow watermelons?
Fake GMO,
Of course, I mean,
GMO. You know,
Listen, man, the yellow watermelon is just like the banana. Okay? The people go and see you enjoying something somewhere else, they take it. And they have to
Gummo.
figure out how to spread it for everyone. You feel me? And those little ass bananas wasn't gonna be good enough.
they
I
weren't.
heard that the banana, was it on last week on your show when they talking about the banana shares 60% of our genetics?
So we bananas. Wow.
Not us. but
I'm a
that's what
banana?
some people
I
are-
believe-
Some people are allergic to them. Something like I don't know, but
I'm allergic to them. I thought everybody throat scratched when they ate bananas my whole life until somebody said
and
no.
then they said,
Are you allergic? Have you had the real bananas, the little ones?
Uh-uh.
That would be my thing. My thing would be get your EpiPen ready, and then eat a real banana
It
or
won't
eat a
kill me.
plantain.
I just ate a banana today. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I just be like,
pineapples I heard are
just
not
scratch a
actually
little
good,
bit.
are actually bad for us. That tingly feeling that we feel when we eat them
Right.
is actually it dissolving us. It's eating us.
you're not
back.
supposed to eat so much of it.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So much of this shit.
It
You
looks,
know-
but if you think about it, you said a pineapple.
Pineapple.
Pineapples when cut up look like sponges.
yeah.
You feel me? It's very hard to cut a pineapple up, but it don't look like it could absorb.
This is
something.
America,
it
you
looks porous.
know.
You feel me?
We do whatever
It
the
look like
fuck.
it could suck some shit up.
Our
That's
diet
crazy.
is the worst out of all of history in every country.
There's
That's
really nothing you can do
a
about your
different-
diet once you figure out how to get right, except for put years back onto your life. But like what you've already eaten is killed you. You know what I'm saying? Like what's already the things they approved. You can have so much rubber in your bread. You can have so much radiation in your
Worms.
house.
Bro, and since this whole Titanic bullshit flew, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you heard the latest about them approving lab-grown meat to be
Yeah.
sold in the grocery stores.
They've been.
Well, KFC
It's been-
first
if
got
they-
in trouble for growing chickens without heads.
It's
If
been
they,
a thing.
if they approved it, that means they already tested it, meaning that they already had it out there. You know,
it's already been. Yeah, it's already been out there.
Yeah, probably in Beyond Meats because while everybody
So
flocked
that's
to
what
eat
the
those.
so that's what the Beyond Meat is.
Yeah, why everybody flocked to eat
Why?
those. Listen, this is the thing. You can watch the pig process, the chicken process, that's all out there. The Beyond Meat process is not out there. They haven't released any videos from any factories on how Beyond Meat is processed, made, where it comes from, any of that shit. The people just
You know,
like,
there
it's
was-
not meat.
There was once, I think it was a study or a lawsuit where they were suing imitation meat for having meat in it, just like they were suing almond milk for having milk in it.
I remember this suing somebody for meat.
Yeah.
I also remember Subway being sued for not actually having
Tuna,
fish.
it's not
There's
tuna.
like no properties of tuna.
Nope.
in
And I got
their
it. I got
fish.
one in my bag right now. I'm
Did
gonna
they
eat it
make
today.
fish?
I don't
Did
know.
they make it up?
But it's delicious. I'm gonna eat it right after this show.
That's crazy. Well,
Yep.
she
My no-
putting
no
the
Nuna
stamp on
fish.
all the GMOs and the futuristic bananas. You know what I'm saying? I am here. So we talked about what was Juneteenth. We talked about what is. That's me and my new co-host Feel Good.
What up,
we talked about
y'all?
what will be. And next week we're gonna have Mr. Baskets on here. It's a brother in the city who's going
Mr.
hard
Baskets.
selling
Mr. Baskets?
baskets.
Not Mr. Buckets.
You
What?
feel me?
Mr. Buckets.
Like any type of. Like he puts them together. You feel me? It's not just a Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day thing with
Oh.
him. He like, listen, if you want to make up, you want to break
I
up, you
love
want to say
that.
sorry, you want to say I love you.
Yeah.
And then colors, liquor, children, adult, however you want to do it. So I assume his house is just filled with shit.
Looking forward to
You
that.
feel me? He always looking for stuff to add to baskets. And so far the ones I've seen are pretty amazing. Obviously, anytime you add a bottle to a basket, it's gonna cost something.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? But I've seen some with a lot of those little wine bottles. I've seen some with a fifth of Patron in it. You know how we do. It's levels to everything. You want a simple one, I'm sure he got it for you. But if you're trying to go hard, I'm sure you can do that too. And we need that for our people because some of us like to go hard. You know what I'm saying?
I'm for that.
Speaking of which, it's fireworks time. Be safe, be careful. I'm ready for all of the hand was blown off. The house exploded. It happens every year. All y'all got to do is be safe, man.
Oh, fuck.
Go real or go home. I am Kong Comedy. This is
Feel good.
That Was Mark D. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Tuned in to Southern Mile Radio.